Look, the Cavs finally lost tonight. Big whoop. It was going to happen eventually. They're now 15-1. What a failure. Anyways, look, we knew this team was going to lose eventually, man. No team has ever gone 82-0. No team has ever gone close. The Cavs deserve credit for starting 15-0 in the first place. And yes, they lost tonight to the Celtics. And so I was sitting here tonight and I'm trying to decide whether or not I was going to do a video on the Cavs and the Celtics. But to be honest, I think the Cavs low-key deserve the video more. Despite the fact they lost, I was so impressed by the fight of this team to get back into a game that they were down 17.5 on the road against the defending champions. They're already 15-0. It would have been like, it would have been understandable if their response had just been, it's a great start to the year. We lost this one. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next night. But that's not what they did. This team absolutely fought their butts off to get back into this game and made it an incredibly close game. And let's be totally honest here. The only reason they lost is because Darius Garland shot 3 of 21. I mean, 3 of 21 is just a total atrocity. And let's not forget, Isaac Okoro didn't play tonight. Karis LeVert didn't play tonight. Max Strus has been out all season. They did not have important pieces to this roster available tonight, and yet still managed to have such a competitive, high-level performance in a game that they were getting blown out at halftime. Just really, really impressive by the Cleveland Cavaliers to find a way to fight back into this game. And I think they deserve to be talked about because, as the title of this video says, this team is for real and they are here to stay. Before we hop into it, if y'all haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 1,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I'm uploading videos pretty much every single day, trying to get monetized. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it and let's talk about the Cavs. So I think you have to start with Donovan Mitchell, man. He is the best player on this team and he is having a great year despite playing the least minutes per game he's played in a very long time, shooting 47% from the field and 42% from three. Just a really, really good start to his year. Super efficient, averaging nearly 25 a game. After tonight, he might be at 25 a game, considering he dropped, 35 on not the greatest efficiency ever, but against an incredible Celtics team. That is nothing to turn your head up at. He had himself another phenomenal performance in a very big moment, was big down the stretch. And honestly, I think one of the reasons that they lost this game was because he didn't touch the ball quite as much as he probably should have down the stretch. I think he's one of the better players in basketball, one of the best two guards in the game, and a guy who, I mean, yes, he's probably a shooting guard if you label him positionally, but can handle the ball, can be a playmaker, just does a lot of things really, really well on the court. I mean, it has been a great piece for this Cavaliers roster and has been that for a couple years, but especially this year, I feel like has taken that next level. 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio is really nice to see out of a guy who's not your primary ball handler or primary playmaker, I should say. And look, he's having another great year. And I think the minutes that he is playing, being slightly down, is something that is actually giving him the ability to play even better in the minutes that he does play. And look, the second guy on this team is Darius Garland. He was terrible tonight. He was, plain and simple. Like, you can't take that away. It happens. Everybody's going to have these moments, and I think he's going to bounce back from it, man. His true shooting is 66%. This is an incredibly efficient team. The #1 team in basketball in terms of field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, points per game, a variety of different impressive offensive stats that have been phenomenal. And look, Darius Garland deserves a ton of credit, man. He's still shooting a great clip for the year at 52%. 45% from three prior to tonight's game. Obviously, that's going to take a hit because of the disaster that was tonight's game efficiency-wise. And look, it happens. At the end of the day, he didn't stop shooting. I'm not angry at Darius Garland, despite the fact he had a bad game. I'm sure if you're a Cavs fan right now, you're probably a bit frustrated because if he makes a few more of those shots, y'all are in a great spot to win this game. But man, it's life and it's going to happen. You're not going to win every single game and you're not going to have a great performance every night. Every single player in the league is going to have a disastrous performance occasionally. It's a shame that Darius Garland's came on national television in a massive game, but that is not something to just write him off about. He's had an incredible year. He's still playing great basketball, and I still think he will be totally fine. Just got to shake it off, move on to the next, and forget nights like this happened, because you know what? They're going to happen. It is what it is. I think he's a great player, and I would not overlook him at all as one of the better secondary ball handlers in basketball. I mean, I guess he's technically, when they're shared the court together, in a lot of ways, their primary playmaker, but he's definitely the second option offensively. And look, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, I feel like, are playing better than ever. And a large portion of that is because they're playing the majority of their minutes in a split rotation, kind of like Darius and Donovan do to a certain extent. Evan Mobley plays 30 minutes a game. So does Jared Allen. So does Darius Garland. And honestly, Donovan Mitchell's only at 31. And the thing is, a lot of those minutes are dramatically staggered. I would say they only play, and I don't have these stat in front of me, but probably about 8 minutes a game together, though that foursome, if that. I mean, probably less than that, to be entirely honest. But Mobley and Jared Allen aren't sharing the court for more than about 6 to 8 minutes a game, and that has allowed both of them, I feel like, to elevate their games to an even higher level because they don't have to worry as much about the spacing issues that have plagued this team in the past. I think Kenny Atkinson, who has been an incredible coaching hire, has really put this team in position to succeed. He was an awesome head coach with the Nets, and I cannot believe it honestly took him this long to get another head coaching gig. I guess he turned down the Hornets gig a couple of years ago, but I do think that it's honestly a bit shocking that it took 3 to 4 years before he got another head coaching opportunity. And he's in a perfect situation here and is making the most of it. Evan Mobley's shooting the three ball efficiently. Now, he's not shooting a ton of them, less than 2 a game, but he's shooting it at over 37% from the field. Jared Allen is absolutely balling on the inside, averaging 14 and 11, a really nice double-double, playing great defense, and just one of the more intimidating rim protectors in basketball and one of the more efficient inside scorers in the sport as well. And the efficiency of this team is just off the charts, man. 69% true shooting for Jared Allen, 66 for Darius Garland, 60 for Donovan Mitchell, 63 for Evan Mobley, and we haven't even gotten to the bench yet. And the bench might be the most impressive, or I guess the others, I should say, not just the bench, but the others might be the most impressive part about this roster so far. I mean, Isaac Okoro is 62% true shooting. Karis LeVert, 66. George Niang is 60. Ty Jerome is at a 72% true shooting percentage to start this season. Just ridiculous efficiency around the board, or across the board on this roster. I'm just so impressed by their ability to play at this high of a level, to shoot the ball at this high of a level. And do I think it'll last quite to this level as the season progresses? Probably not. But Isaac Okoro is currently a 45% three-point shooter. If he is close to 40%, he becomes an incredibly valuable role player because he is a really, really good defender. Ty Jerome has basically come out of nowhere. A guy who was on the fringes of the league for the last several seasons is now a massive part of this Cavaliers rotation and playing incredible basketball offensively. George Niang doesn't really look like an NBA player, but at this point, he has proven to be a very solid one, a not afraid shooter in the slightest, who actually plays more defense than I think people would anticipate and competes on both ends of the court. And he's got a certain fieriness to him that I like. And that's something, honestly, that I like about Kenny Atkinson as well. He's got this snide, almost a-hole attitude at times as a coach that I really like towards the refs and towards the opponents and things of that nature. That man is passionate. That man is fiery. And this team, they're playing for each other and they're playing high level basketball at a consistent rate. And that's not even to mention guys like Dean Wade, a true contributor who's shown to be a capable NBA player and is one of the few guys on this team actually not shooting the ball very well, but he hasn't played. He's shown to be a guy who's capable of playing a solid role and another very valuable contributor. Max Strus has not played a minute this season, and when he does, he will be another valuable rotation piece. Karis LeVert has been really efficient in his own right, nearly 46% from three on almost 4 attempts per game. This is a team that is just playing incredibly high-level offensive basketball and is in position to be a true contender in the East. And the resiliency that they showed tonight, despite losing, was enough for me to feel super duper confident in saying that the Cavs are 100% here to stay. And not only are they here to stay, they're a serious threat for the 1 seed, and they're a serious contender in the Eastern Conference. This is not an easy out for even the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. And look, this could blow up in my face. I might wind up being wrong, but from what I've seen so far this season, I see no reason at all to believe that this Cavaliers team is anything less than a serious championship contender. And tonight did nothing but reiterate that or reinforce that belief to me, despite the fact that they lost. I really like what Cleveland is building. I think there is a lot of promise for this roster and for this coaching staff and for this team to have an incredible season. And man, if you're a Cleveland fan, this has to be about as fun as it's been to watch basketball in Cleveland since LeBron was there. I mean, it's easily the most fun it's been since LeBron was there. And look, it's a good time to be a Cleveland Cavaliers basketball fan, plain and simple. Hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure y'all hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.